Come on in, guys. Welcome to Idled Out, where we talk all things Survivor. My name is Luke, and today we're talking about the finale of Survivor Winners at War. And wow, I'm sad this great season's come to a close. What a ride. We've got a lot to dig into this episode, so I want to talk about my top 5 immediate takeaways from episode 14 of Winners at War. Rather than a full episode recap, I'll be highlighting 5 things from this episode I think we should be talking about. That might be specific characters, moves, or moments, or just general things I noticed about the episode. So, for the last time of the season, spoiler warning. My 5th takeaway is, oh my god, Tony actually pulled it off. I don't think anyone would have believed you if you went back in time and told them that Tony, of all people, was going to win this season. He's legitimately pulled off a once-in-a-lifetime win twice now, and has most definitely earned his place in the Survivor Pantheon as one of the faces of the franchise and one of the greatest players of all time. And honestly, this entire Final 3 were worthy of their spot, and it was really interesting to see a Final 3 who all had wildly different journeys to the endgame. Tony, of course, drove the game from the merge in ways that only Tony could. But Michelle played from the bottom as well as one can, escaped surefire elimination with clutch immunity wins, and dodged bullet after bullet to get into the endgame. There's something to be said for making it as far as you can go with the deck stacked entirely against you. And Natalie, going from first boot, surviving 33 days on the edge of extinction under brutal conditions, and then coming back into the game and getting second place is just an incredible story, regardless of how you feel about the edge. This is one of my favorite Final 3s of all time, and each of them truly earned their spot. My 4th takeaway is that the post-Edge challenge send-off for all the Survivor legends was a fitting replacement for the long-gone rites of passage, and I just love when Survivor treats itself with the reverence it deserves. Seriously, this piece was equal parts inspiring and emotional, with the castaways' emotions just completely laid bare. Moments like Kim admitting she failed in the game and accepting that that's okay, or Amber struggling with her legacy 15 years later, are moments that we probably don't get without the hardship of the edge. Getting to hear from these incredible winners one last time, speaking candidly, rawly, and emotionally about their triumphs and failures was an incredible payoff for the Edge of Extinction. My 3rd takeaway is that Chris Underwood really set the bar high for the EOE returnee, and that's really clear now after Natalie's post-Edge game failed to win her the votes at the end. Natalie did just about everything right she could have done coming back into the game, but not everything. The Underwood playbook says you have to vote out a major power player, get through a round without the immunity necklace, successfully play an idol, and put yourself into the final 4 fire-making, and eliminate the biggest threat left in the game. And that is the bar that I think a lot of the jury were holding Natalie to, and she just didn't quite make it. And if the Edge returns again, I think it will only be clearer now that that is what you have to do to win your season, if you're returning from the pre-merge part of the game. There is simply no room for error. The question is, if Edge does come back in the future, will someone pull off the intentional Underwood strategy? You know, get voted out first on purpose, live on the edge and bond with the jury, earn advantages, and bet your whole game on the Battleback Challenge, and try to play a flawless 5 or 6 days of Survivor? I don't know, worth thinking about, future Survivor players. If it works, you're a total legend. If it doesn't work, you're a total legendary dumb player. Sounds like a win-win to me. My number 2 takeaway is that the 3-hour finale, instead of the normal 2 hours, really gave the show room to breathe. I'd be totally down for this to be the norm moving forward, especially if the show is going to have a mechanic like Edge of Extinction or Island of the Idols that has to pay off in the last episode. This was one of the best episodes of Survivor in a long time, if not of all time, and I think a lot of that is owed to the extended running time. If this finale were the same length as other finales, we'd probably lose a lot of those emotional moments that made this episode so satisfying to watch as a long-term fan of the show, like the Edge players and their send-off. So I'm really glad they decided to scrap the virtual reunion altogether. Honestly, I can get all the post-show discussion I need from podcasts anyway. My top takeaway is that Cops R Us had the most poetic ending to any alliance in Survivor history, and has to be in the running for Survivor's greatest alliance ever. Not since Colby and Jerry have we seen two players whose entire Survivor experience has been so wrapped up in one another. Tony won their first time out, Lucina won their second time out, and their third game ended in a fire-making showdown, the winner of which was going to win the game. But what takes this to the next level is the emotional highs the scene reaches because of the journey these two have been on together for so long. Tony and Sarah crying together was a payoff 6 years in the making, and it was one of the most powerful moments in Survivor history. These genuinely human moments are why Survivor is one of the greatest shows ever created. Got nothing else for you. Please consider bequeathing your fire tokens to the like and subscribe button, and I'll get you more Survivor content just like this. Until next time, don't get idled out.